Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm good. Thank God.
It's so great to have you. Thank you so much, sir. Very importantly for everything, for the support, and for all that's happened today. So how do you feel right
Okay, we're just instruments and vessels in the hands of the living God. There is nothing a human being does on earth that they can really take credit for. For He works in us both to will and to do, to will and to do. He works in us to will and to do. In other words, if you wake up and you feel like fasting, He's the one working in you. If you feel like giving somebody some help, He's the one. Everything starts and finishes with Him. But beyond that, He supplies the life, He supplies the energy, He supplies the health, He supplies the resources, He supplies the time. So in the end, we have nothing to take credit for, is the Lord.
now? Absolutely. So the questions you've been asking, I also want to get your perspective on is, yeah, raising an altar has mostly been for a lot of reasons about young people. That there is a generation that seek the face of the Lord, a generation of young people. Pastor Nat talked about it when he was ministering, that there is a move of the Spirit upon young people now. So I wanted to ask, now and in this time when it is very noisy, how would you say that it is best for young people to build an altar, to have a secret place with God?
Okay, so it starts from teaching. You have to teach young people to do things. The Bible says you should train up a child how he should go, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. So it starts from mentoring, from discipleship. The Lord's army is replenished yearly, hourly, every minute by an influx of people coming in for the first time. So look at it this way. Look at it like an army that enlists people, takes them to a boot camp, trains them, and then arms them to go do the duties they've been called to do. So it's mentorship. It's recruiting them through the process of salvation. It's putting them through new believers classes. It's putting them through baptismal classes. It's putting them through workers in training classes. It's making them attend Bible colleges, to attend School of Disciples if they are in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. It's to equip them to be able to stand. Is to give them disciplines, the disciplines that make the soldier of Christ, the discipline of prayer, the discipline of study of the word, the discipline of waiting on the Lord, the discipline of evangelism, the multiple disciplines that will make them grow into followers of Jesus that can stand on their own and again replicate the process of recruiting and then becoming disciples so that the course of the Lord goes on and on and on until He comes to terminate it.
So I want to now shift to the theme, Jesus the Revealer. My question to you now would be for everybody listening. I'm curious to know, do you remember a strong encounter, a particular moment, very big instrumental moment in your life that you say, this is how Jesus revealed himself to you?
Well, he talks to me.
Hmm.
The reality of God, He talks to me. I've had encounters. I've had plenty of encounters. I mean, to pinpoint one particular moment, I don't know, I've
Yeah,
had
several
multiple encounters. To me, the reality of Jesus is not in doubt.
constant.
When I was preaching, I said I was waiting at the airport to come back to Nigeria after 2 years, 8 months in Liberia and Sierra Leone, and I was in Lungi Airport in Freetown, Sierra Leone, and I had just finished a devotion in the morning, and I was lying on the bed, and suddenly I heard, "Son." And then I waited for him to speak further. And he said, "Disciple." He said, "Ambassador," and that was loaded. First, he was saying, "I'm his son." That takes care of a whole lot of things. It means I'm not a bastard. I have a father. I have a father who loves me, who looks after me, who cares for me. He does everything a father does. Then he says, "Ambassador." I understood that too. That I have a commission. That I'm a pilgrim on earth. I'm an ambassador of the Lord Jesus. That this is not my country. As a matter of fact, I'm a member of an occupying force. We are occupying forces on earth in a hostile territory. We are inserted troops. who were inserted into this territory to dominate it, to take over, dominate it, and bring the culture of heaven here while we wait for him to come. So I've had encounters. There are multiple encounters, plenty of them, many encounters. The reality of Jesus is not in doubt. As far as I am concerned, I've had conversations like I'm hearing you now, I heard you like that too. So beyond that, beyond that, he's a constant companion. He's inside us. He's just constantly there. He's just there.
I think from that, what I've been able to pick is that you have a strong secret place with God, a strong altar. How do we
I
get
wish it
into
could be.
that
I
place?
wish it could be stronger. Oh, okay, but you see, the workings of God with individuals differ so much. Even the training, so it depends on the kind of soldier you want to raise. Even the army, there are special forces. There are elite forces that the training is different. Even their recruitment is different. Let me give you an example. If you want to join the U.S. Marines, it's different from joining the U.S. Army. The Marines are special. Their training is different. Their recruitment is different. If you want to become a Navy SEAL, it's a total different ball game again. If you are a ranger, it's a different. If you are SARS, the UK they call them SARS, special forces. So the way you raise people, the law raises people up is contingent upon the kind of tax it has for them. So I was forged in fire. I was an usher, and from ushering, I was thrust into pastoring, into planting churches. I had never done it before. The template they gave me didn't work. That is, you laid hands on me, and I was 1995, and I was told that when you go to Liberia, I was a member of ECOMOG, I was a soldier. When you get to Liberia, start a house fellowship, it will grow to a certain level and turn into a church. When I got to Liberia, I discovered I was staying on ECOMOG base, and the army accepts only two denominations, Catholic and Protestant. So you can't start Pentecostal thing on base. It will cause all kinds of problems for you. So I went into town, got a hall, printed banners and handbills, shared and said, service is starting here, the Redeemed Christian Church of God. I have registered it, of course. And a lot of prayer preceded that. So that is why I'm saying that the training an individual receives from the Lord is predicated upon the kinds of assignments he's going to trust them into. So I started as somebody who was just barely 2.5 years in the Lord, because I had given my life to Christ in 1987, but I went back into the world and nobody followed me up, so I went back. So I came back, and within that period of just moving from ushering to pastoring, I was lying down and praying for 4 hours. And that is not normal. You know that God is preparing somebody. There are believers today who have been 15 years, 20 years, they can't pray for 4 hours. I was lying down and I'll pray for, and that is just a session. Throughout the day, I'll be praying. In the night, you'll be hearing I pray throughout. And I was doing job. So the kinds of assignment the Lord has for you, we determine the kind of training you get. So I've been forged in fire. So praying to me now becomes very easy, so to speak. So having an altar is normal because I just spend time praying in tongues. I'm just a praying person by God's grace.
Yeah.
By God's grace, I'm a praying person. I don't sleep before 3 a.m. So because I'm a man on duty, when they call me, I can't say, let me go and prepare. And soldiers don't go to
Always
prepare.
ready.
They must be ready. I'm a man on duty. Let me give you an example. I was lying on my bed praying, and then I saw my phone ringing. And it was the head usher. She was calling me, and her sister-in-law, who was giving birth, who had just given birth to a child in the hospital, died. She just passed on. So I said, take the phone to her, place it close to her. I prayed for her on phone. If I were sleeping, I wouldn't have, because my phone wasn't
Ringing
going to, yeah. But I saw it, and so if you are doing that kind of thing, you can't say, give me some time, let me charge up.
Yeah.
You must be charged up. So the Lord has special forces. Special forces are always ready for any assignment on short notice that the Lord will give them. So what heaven does is that heaven scans from heaven and checks the earth to see the troops that are ready. So I want to be among those troops that will always be ready. When the Lord is saying, whom shall we send? Let him find part Akenvingi ready. So to do that, I must be praying continually. So I pray in tongues generally. My father in the Lord, that is Jew, Pastor Adebo, he prays in tongues continually. I'm just learning. I'm learning at the feet of Jesus, and I'm learning through my Father in the Lord. I'm learning. In fact, I've said it repeatedly that if I had my way, I'll go stay in his house for 1 week to observe his routine. I've not had the privilege, and I don't know whether I will get it, but Lord,
we trust God.
but God can make a miracle.
Yeah.
I want to know his regime, his routines. So that is the idea. The idea is that the Lord has called us to pray without ceasing, and there is a reason. You need to store up spiritual capital so that you can use it always. Or suddenly, something will come up to use spiritual capital. So you store it up so that you can use it. And that means you must live a praying life. But beyond that, you must have a certain level of discipline. And that is where my training as a military person comes in. The other day, which day was it? On Thursday, I woke up, I didn't eat food and I wasn't fasting. And I stayed like that. I came to church. I didn't eat any food. It was after service that I went home to go and take something. And if you are living like that, you can't eat much. So you live virtually a fasted life. So for those that want to be vessels unto honor, they must separate themselves and embrace certain disciplines. They must do what other Christians, other believers are not doing. So special forces are selected among the forces. When you finish doing the recruitment, you now select those that have the makings, the capacities, the stamina, the endurance to be trained as special forces. And I want to belong to the Lord's special forces.
It's not enough to be in the Lord's army.
Yeah, no. I want to be in the special forces. I want to be in the special forces. No, I want to be in the thick of things. I don't want a battle. I don't want the Lord doing a battle on earth and part Akenvingi is absent from the mix of it. No, when the Lord has a special assignment on earth, if it requires casting up devils, I want to be there. If it is healing the sick, I want to be in the thick of it. If it is to take territories, I want to be there. I am available, Lord. Use me. I'm available.
So because
as I'm saying, I've heard some oil on my head.
Yeah. So I mean, because of time, I have to.
This will be last question.
Let me do last question, but I'll do it in 2 parts. I want you to drop a message, and this is a very important one. Number one, this is a time and a season, like you said, for people to be pulled into the Lord's special forces. So I'd like
some selected,
yes. So I'd like if you had to drop a message for those who actually are ready to be built in the place of separation, in the place of discipline. And then the second message I'd like you to drop, because it's only you I can ask to drop this message, is for those who have given themselves to discipleship for the Raising an Altar Conference for Jesus Villa, from the top all the way to the bottom, those who have been the diligent servers to ensure that this came to pass. So I'd like you to drop a word for them and for those who are watching who also want to be in the Lord's vineyard.
Okay, so let me start from you've asked virtually ended up.
Yeah,
it looks as if it's 3 questions. It looks as if it is 3 questions.
Yes.
Okay, you said those who want to join, to be in the special forces.
Yes.
Okay, so the Bible says a man by desire separated himself. So if you want to do great things for the Lord, and what the Lord does is he plants a desire. You see that, so it goes back to the point I was making, that there's nothing we are that does not come from him. He starts by planting a hunger. You see, he knows our composition. He made us. He knows those who can handle those kind of tasks and those who can endure, those who can stay. He knows those, even persecution. He knows those who can go through tough persecution and survive. He knows those who will not. So he kind of builds walls around them. So the Lord knows those kind of people, and he leads them quietly. They will not even know they are being led into it. Like I didn't know. Okay, on Thursday, I went to pray for a couple, for one Baba and his wife. When I was like 1 year and some months in the Lord, I prayed them until they started dodging me. I used to go to their house to lead a prayer. And it got to a point where once I'm parking my car, it would be like the guys will say, they are not around. So you will think that it is you, but normally it's the Lord leading the individual into it gradually, gradually. Nobody suddenly appears. There's a process. Nathaniel Bassey wasn't singing, he was blowing the trumpet under Pastor Esco. Pastor Esco was saying Nathaniel Blow. That was where Nathaniel Blow name came from. But there was a talent of singing inside him, but we didn't know it. But he was eased into it by the Lord. So it's like that. When you're pastoring like I am now, you start seeing potentials. The people themselves may not know that they have it. You see, because you are a recruiter on behalf of the Lord, you are scanning the horizon. You are a scout. So you can start seeing potentials, and those are the guys that you start calling them for special IVGs. You want to pray with a group of people, you bring them. Those are the kind
Special
of,
squad.
you are just getting a special call. Those are the kind of guys you start building. They may not even know that that is why it's taking place, but that's what happens. Then the reality is that if you participated in serving in any capacity at all in the church, the first in a program like this, the first thing you must know is that the population of the world is 8.2 billion people. The Lord has options. It's a privilege to serve. We are 8.2 billion people, and He has selected you, saved you, giving you a spot in His vineyard. He allocates the locations. It's a big farm. He gives portions. And if you don't do it, he will take your portion and give to a person that has capacity. Remember the nobleman in Luke chapter 19, verse 13, from verse 1 down, until he got to the point where he said, Occupy till I come. He gave talents out, the nobleman. You remember one gentleman in Matthew chapter 25, was it 25? Or thereabout, that didn't look after, he was complaining about talent, he went and hid it. But the master said, Take and give to, he said, to he that has shall more be given. So the more an individual labors for him, the more responsibilities he gives. But if an individual says, I will not do, the Lord has replacements. You see, God is not going to ever scratch his head and say, this person is not going to do it. What are we going to do? Never, never, never. For know all to God are all his works from the beginning to the end. When he calls a King Saul, a David is waiting in the wings to take over. When Elijah is going and Elisha is going to take over, the Lord will never run short of resources, and sometimes they look very unlikely. Joshua was pouring water on the hands of Moses. He was a servant. He was a water pourer. Nobody knew he was going to lead a nation as the president of a nation. He didn't look it, he didn't smell it. And that was why when he came, the children of Israel were looking down on him. So the Lord decided that this day will I begin to magnify you before Israel. Say, I'm going to magnify, I'm going to put a glory on you, I'm going to put something on you that will make them look at you like a king, because right now you are a leader and they are not looking at you as a leader. They are thinking that you are an ordinary person, the person that was pouring water on the hands of Moses. If the Lord gives us a place to serve, we should do it willingly, engagingly, eagerly, with passion, with zeal, with enthusiasm, with our resources, with our time, with our bodies, sacrificially, including denying ourselves certain comforts, just to execute the job, because He is not short of vessels. If anybody thinks they are too big, God will replace them. Thank you, sir.